What's up, everyone? We're leaving that in. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the capsule. There's been some Japanese drama, there's been some Waacking drama. There's a couple of audience members that have some questions for us. We're going to watch a cool popping battle that I thought you guys might enjoy that I don't know that you would have seen.
Ooh.
And most of all, guys, we're going to have some fun.
Yeah, yeah!
We're going to be here, we're going to connect, we're going to bond. You know, you're going to bond with us, we're going to bond with each other. We're not going to bond with you because we can't see or hear you. But if you write comments, then we can. All right, so let's get into it. So, Sophia, what's the first topic on the list?
So the dancer Ibuki
Yes.
in Japan has released a really massive statement about some drama that happened.
Let's start with Ibuki.
Yes.
Tell us.
So she's a dancer from Japan and she recently won the Street Woman Fighter competition.
World of Street Woman Fighter, which was the big one.
Woman Fighter. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Korean translation.
It was like a...
Yeah, you know what's so funny? We did but it's in Korea. So I'll explain this. So it's a Korean TV show. It's like a reality TV show with dance, kind of like America's Best Dance Crew or, I don't know, one of those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so usually all Korean, all women crews that compete. And they have also like...
How many do they have?
Quite a few, apparently. Like it's been going... This is the third or fourth season.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've done a few seasons. It's been crazy popular. Like these people are like celebrities in Korea, like the people that win or do well, right?
Okay.
And then because it was doing so well, they did a World of Woman Street Woman Fighter, and they invited people from all over the world. They have an American crew. They had 2 Japanese crews, a Korean crew, Australia, New Zealand.
Whoa.
Something like that.
Where's
So-
the UK?
They were not.
So Asia and
invited.
America then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Good to know.
This is such a choreo thing to be like, it's a world championship.
We invited America.
Naming no names, Steezy. Anyway, so moving on, this Japanese crew, who I believe are from Osaka,
Yep.
won the World of Women Street Fighter. So when they had all these different crews, and it's a really cool TV show because it's like they have like all the stuff, you know, like in the reality shows where they go back to the dressing rooms or where they're staying, and they have. So what did you think about that? Yeah, I didn't like the way she spoke to me or whatever. Like, you know, they have all that, and then they zoom in on the reactions, and it's like proper Love Island vibes, you know.
Yeah.
But like the Korean version, it's also all in Korean, so I haven't watched it in depth because can't understand. But they have subtitle translations for those.
Would they have like for the American crews? Would they be dubbed or would they be subbed?
I think it's... Oh, that's a good question. So when the American crew speak English...
So they put like the
Korean subtitles.
subtitles on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So so everyone else is just speaking in Korean, then the Americans speak English and they have Korean subtitles.
Like the Japanese speak Japanese and everyone speak their own language, but they just put the subtitles.
The Korean. Right, got it. got it.
So Japanese, they speak
So you're telling me
Korean.
that Japanese people don't speak Korean? All right. You learn something new every day. Guys, you know what I meant? Fucking stop writing that comment. Stop writing it. Stop it. All right.
One person.
He got me. Yeah, he's clever. All right. So then she's like the head of her crew.
Yeah.
I think she's like very famous in Japan. I think she's on like not 500,000 followers, but
Not
close.
only in Japan, like all over the world. Like she's
Oh, really?
amazing dancer. I knew
Oh,
about
yeah,
her
500,000
way before.
followers.
Yeah.
Who's this
God
one? Is that
damn.
the house dancer?
No,
She's
that's Miyu.
Waacking?
Oh, she's amazing.
She's also amazing, yeah. Shout out to Miyu. I want to have her on the pod. That's something completely irrelevant, Sophia. So yeah, Ibuki is really well known head of this crew, Ojo Gang, if I say that right.
Yep.
Sick name.
So yeah, is this type of vibe, kind of big crew spectacle type of things. Yeah, like I said, they're really well known. Anyway, so this crew, Ojo Gang, win World of Street Fighter, and as you will know from context, for context, not from context, Mustafa here was part of the group called Raksu that won X Factor in which year?
2017.
2017.
Boy.
So, as you all know, once you win a competition like that, a TV show type of thing, they often set up like tours or things that like follows, because it's very smart, and I think we should definitely do this more on a smaller scale in the battle scene, but that's another thing for another time. they have their competition, which obviously people tune in for and people, watch and tweet about and Insta about and all that. Then following that, they don't want to just drop it and be like, all right, it's done. So they go, right, to carry on this, all these people that you've loved are now going to perform around the country or the world, depending. And it's going to be like the winners and maybe some support acts, and they're going to make a little show out of it and tour it, and then they make more money. It's like when a rapper releases an album and then tours it.
Sick.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting if they did like all of the crews that competed, because then obviously all the people that would have watched it on TV, they would have
All
like it's
tuned
their
in.
chance, because that's exactly what they did with the X Factor, where they had I think it was the top 8 or the top 16. There were people that did the live shows.
Okay.
They all went on tour around the country. And
It might be that actually. I don't know the full details of what this tour was supposed to be, but anyway. So here's the drama where the drama comes in.
Some juice.
Ibuki posted this Insta post, which, did you translate this from Korean? Because I went to look at it and it was all in Korean, and I was
No,
like,
she did.
oh, okay.
It's just
Oh, yeah, I didn't swipe far enough. Good.
Hilarious.
I'm the best researcher in the world. I was like, this
that's
is in
why I'm
Korean. I
here.
can't understand it. Never
I've
mind.
already given up. No.
Yeah, well, I went 2 slides and went, well, this is clearly not for me. So she wrote something to the fans, and basically she's had a lot of trouble with Route 59, who, from what I could see, Route 59 are basically the tour company that are like booking the tour and sorting out I don't know how closely they work with World of Street Woman Fighter, but they're apparently, from what I saw on the internet, disclaimer, allegedly, all those words, they are like the tour company that they work with, right?
Okay.
Or the booking company, or
Seems
however
like
you
it.
phrase that. And Sophia, do you want to run us down a list of like some of the things that she complained about?
Yeah, so first of all, they included some rehearsals previously, like before the tour, and it was not initially paid. So there was some drama about like the manager of Ibuki trying to reach out to the company and them not being responsive. And then they had to like basically go through the fans to try to reach out to the tour managers.
no way.
And then I think like
What?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And then I think like for not being responsive for 3 weeks after that, they actually reached out to Ibuki directly and said to her, oh, well, we did this contract and now you need to sign it within the hour, or we're going to make everything public and we're going to damage your
They
image.
kind of like tried to
basically.
threaten her with going public because she wouldn't sign this contract when she was like, basically like, I want to get paid for rehearsals and you haven't included a rehearsal fee in this contract.
And she's been asking for 3 weeks, and then they're like,
Yeah,
"Within
they
an hour
haven't
or we
exactly.
hate you."
Exactly.
They haven't been responsive.
And they were like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have involved the fans, and I really damaged the whole process, and we don't trust your manager anymore, and things like that.
And
Oh, we
apparently,
don't trust you, but
Yeah.
you're paying us.
yeah. And apparently they had a group call, like to sort it out or talk about it, and it was like, I don't know how many, like 5 of them and just her, and she's like, okay, what's going on here? And then they were kind of like,
They ambushed her.
like
Yeah.
pressuring her and being like and saying like stuff that's like nothing to do with the bit, like, oh, you're not really suitable to be the like was it the manager or the leader, like
The leader of the
just
group.
being like, oh, you're not really suitable to be the leader of your group, like you're not really doing a good job, blah blah. And she's like, just like trying to really coerce her and make her feel like shit to like
Yeah, and there was thing like,
Get her to
for
sign this
example,
contract.
if they go on the tour and one of the performers don't perform, like none of the group is being paid and things like that.
was it that or was it just less?
I think they said that. Would be reduced. You're right, actually. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that
so
they
it's like
would
if
not
one,
get
so like if we're signed, which that I'm like in between about, because it's like if we're signed as a 7-person group, sorry, and then one of us doesn't perform, we shouldn't get the same. Like
Yeah.
they're paying per dance.
Yeah.
I
They're paying
actually,
per
I
dance,
actually
yeah.
agree with that. I
Yeah.
don't think you should split then that other person's wages, because then I think it causes disrupt between them and the group as well. It's like, so if we're performing and then I drop out and then you guys get my money, I'm a bit like,
Yeah.
you know,
Although
like,
the
it's like-
only, I guess, pushback to that is like you get paid, but based on like in a way, like the value that you bring, like in the sense of like it's still Ojo Gang
It's still-
performing.
Yeah.
As in, like, if it's us 3 and me and you still perform, we would still call it like UMA crew and perform. You know what I mean? So it's the brand that brings the value, not who is there.
I completely agree, but then it's like when the brand is a certain image, it's like if I'm part of that image,
Sure,
then
agreed.
I'm part of the
Yeah,
brand, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, sorry, that's interesting. This is good.
Yeah.
And
I think
yeah,
there was also a thing about like when they were trying to make her sign the contract, they said to her, "Oh, all the other members signed the contract, and you're the only one that didn't sign it."
Right, I
Tried
did
to
a police
pressure her.
thing.
but was it true?
I mean, that's what she wrote.
She said it wasn't true.
They said because like in the like summary, basically they said they also told her that other members had already signed directly, leaving her isolated.
That's a bit mad how the other members just signed it directly.
If
But
they
I don't
did,
know if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
true. Yeah, I don't know if they just
It's
said
either
that to
not
pressure
true or
her.
they pressured them into. Imagine they said to all of
Probably, yeah.
them, "Oh, everyone else has signed." Like they all said that to all of them.
But yo, I would have just been, yo, I didn't because that's why I'm the leader, blood.
Yeah.
They was like, I ain't signing the contract.
I would have met the members. I'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Just do a group call. Like I'm literally like on the call. Like, oh yeah, they've all signed. Oh yeah. No, they haven't.
Or they come back and say, yeah, we all signed it. You're like, oh fuck. No, next point.
Yeah, in the group, everyone's like, yeah, what's the problem? It's like, oh, fuck. So, yeah, she said, obviously, like, you know, there's all this stuff where she was so stressed that, like, and also bear in mind, it's like, this is already stressful on, like, a lower level. Like, if this was me negotiating a contract for the pod or something, I'd be stressed if people were doing this shit. But if it's like, you know, you have 500,000 followers, you're on, like, this huge, like, show, then, like, all this stuff is, like, stressing you because, like, first of all, if you don't perform, all the fans are like, why aren't you performing? Like, if you sign, like, because then you're pressured to sign it because you're like, let me just make the fans happy and I'll take the L a little bit.
Let me save face.
Take it out, maybe. And then, yeah, it's like you want to save face. And then it's like also if you, well,
It's just cracking me up.
Sophia, behave.
Sorry.
And then if you do sign it and then you get screwed, it's like then you're under public scrutiny of like, oh, you signed a stupid contract, that's your fault, like you should have paid attention, you know, like you can't win really.
Yeah, that I think is a really good point about the idea of like, if she signs it, it's then you sign the contract, and that's the thing that everyone levies against you when you sign a contract that has bad stuff in it. It's like, well, you signed it, and then
Exactly.
you don't get to criticize people for signing a contract that has bad stuff in it and not reading the contract, and then also get to criticize people for I don't know if these are the same people here, but also get to criticize people for questioning a contract and not wanting to sign it because it doesn't work in their benefit. Like you don't get the two.
And I think the other thing here is like, and maybe you can speak on this a little bit, but it's like when it's these, you know, obviously this is just a statement from Ibuki. Like, so it could, not that I'm saying it's bullshit, Korean and Japanese fans. But what I'm saying is we don't know the truth. Like it could be that she's saying all this and they're like, yo, we just tried to ask you and now because you don't want to sign this contract, you're trying to get out of it or whatever. But I think what's funny is like whenever we see this where it's like an artist or a dancer versus a company or an agency or whatever, it's like 95% of the time it's true.
Right, it's hard because obviously like in terms of experience that you have, where these people like just know dance. I know how to dance. I know how to perform. I know how to put on a good show. And now you're putting me in a situation where I'm having to read contracts. I'm having to deal with big companies. I'm having to deal with so many things that I don't have any experience with. I don't have any guidance. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
How would you expect me to react? Like, how would you expect, like each person, obviously from her side, she's dealing with so many things, but also at the same time, they're probably dealing with someone who doesn't have any experience, who doesn't have it. Like, so there's always two sides to the story, but kind of more or less both sides tend to be right depending on which side
you sit on.
Yeah.
I think also like to kind of this thing of like the dancer needing to know about the contracts and stuff. It's like to here's a side example or an analogy for it. It's like we have a cleaner that comes once a week, right, in the house, and Jen always deals with the cleaner, right? And like every time she comes, she explains where the cleaning products are, which rooms she wants cleaned, all this, right? So then one time it's like Jen was out and she's like, well, can you just deal with it? I was like, yeah, cool. Didn't think about it. Cleaner shows up and she's asking me a bunch of questions and I'm like, she's like, oh, so where's this? And I'm like, oh, I don't even know what that is, let alone where it is. She's like, well, what should I clean? And I'm like,
The house?
Yeah. Like, do you not know? She's like, no, usually she tells me like which rooms. And I'm like, and I'm just like, so then I'm texting Jen like, well, anyway, my whole point is to say having a cleaner is useless if I don't know what needs to be cleaned or what I want that person to do for me. So therefore, these dancers, I'm going to tie it all together.
I'm processing, go.
These dancers that have managers and whatever to do these things for them, it's only good if you know enough to know
what they're doing
what the
for
manager
you.
needs to do for you. So if I hire you as a manager and I still have no fucking idea, you could be doing anything. And if I don't know, I still have to know something. It's not like, because the whole point I'm trying to make is that the pushback to this is like, well, yeah, the dancers can't do all this stuff. That's why they have managers or that's why they have agents.
Right.
But unless you know what the manager's doing, you can't tell if they're doing a good or bad job or what they need. Like if the manager goes, right, what do you want me to do with this contract? I'm like, contract stuff? I don't know. Like what, You know, so
I get you,
yeah.
but that's a lot of responsibilities.
Of course, yeah.
And not everyone
100%.
can do that. Not
Yeah.
everyone can
Agreed.
learn all of these things and know all these things. And because, like I said, like this person probably just knows dance.
Yeah. And then I guess it kind of, to speak to your point as well, and kind of to the point you were just making, how do you find people that you can trust when it is that you don't know? Because we all know the famous example of Dave Chappelle, of being in the room. He said that I thought the people that were reading my contracts for me, because there's obfuscating language in there that's used to designed to make sure that only a certain type of people can read it. And it's like, how do I know that the people that I've got to read this and sign it for me aren't working with the people that are writing?
Yep.
And it's like, or in terms of working with them, I don't mean in some kind of conspiratorial way. I just mean that they have the same interests, and those interests are different from my own.
Yeah. It's like, in a way, it's kind of like, let's say if you're gonna, like, you want to be the best football player, right? And you want to be signed to Arsenal or whatever, like, and you hire a coach. It's like you need to know what you're asking the coach to teach you.
Do you though?
Because it's like, well, yeah, I guess that's the thing.
We've seen so many interviews with footballers who they.
But what about this? Okay, so this is kind of what Lee's saying about the interest thing. It's like, the quicker you get good at football, the quicker that coach is out of a job. Because if you, like, let's say you're hiring them to get you signed to the Premier League or, you know, a team or whatever. So you hire me and you're like, right, I mean, you could also say the same with like personal trainers. The quicker you lose weight, the quicker I'm out of a job. So is it in my best interest to help you lose weight quickly, or is it in my best interest to keep making you feel like you're doing it, but actually stringing it out longer? And how do you know the difference? You have to learn enough to go, hold on, that training program you're giving me is bullshit, because training programs should increase in certain things, and you know what I mean? So you have to learn a little bit to know when your person's bullshit.
That's where ethics comes in then, doesn't it? And obviously people, like, ethics, again, for some people is very subjective. Like, how far do you need to go to manage someone or coach someone? Like, what would you need to do? And obviously some person will feel like, only if I do this much, it's enough.
Yeah.
But someone else will tell you, oh, you need to do this much and that's enough. And
Agreed. Because it's also like, let's say that personal training example, right? Like that, what I just said is kind of, we all feel like that's wrong to like fake a program so that someone doesn't lose weight. But what if this person is like,
Mental.
They're not putting in enough effort. They're like, oh yeah, I can commit to like one session a week, and can we do it just for and they're like morbidly obese, and they're like, can we do like half an hour a week, and I only want to do these exercises. You know, all right, cool, like I'll do this because they're paying you. Do you go, I'm not going to bother even training you because it ain't going to work? Or do you just say, all right, like if this makes you feel good, you want to do half an hour, I'll come and train you for half an hour a week, but like you, in your head, you know this, but it ain't going to work for the person, because they're also then going and eating donuts and cakes and whatever. So do you then, do you know what I mean? It's like, that's when it gets a grey area.
Yeah, I guess if we're relating it back to the time management, I think it's the idea of, yes, I think both are true, right? I think, yes, you need to be a person who kind of knows what it is that you want, especially at a certain level. You need to be able to direct them, say, cool, I'm bringing you in on my team. I need you to be able to do X, Y, Z for me. But then what you're bringing in is an expert. Someone that comes in and says, cool, I can do that, but I'm also here to consult. Like, I love that you want to do X, Y, Z, but you can't do that right now.
Right.
Or you want to, like, I love that you want to only, like, ease into it, for example, say with the personal trainer, I love that you want to ease into this and just do, like, these exercises, the ones that you're comfortable with.
But here's the real truth.
But yeah, you're not going to do anything. You're just going to give me money for no reason. If you want to do that, I can just take your money.
To be fair,
And then the ethics thing comes in.
yeah, like this is one thing, I mean, in terms of like, I mean, this has become a conversation about managers, but it's not necessarily about that. But like, the old garage I used to go to get my car fixed, and he might have been doing it to like get me in a way, but every time he'd look at the car, be like, all right, a part is probably going to cost 50 quid, the work is probably going to cost like 40 quid, and then this extra thing is going to cost 10 quid. So you're probably looking at 100 quid. And I'm like, cool, do the work because I'm willing to pay 100 quid. So he knows I've got 100 quid and I'm willing to pay it. He would consistently come back and be like, I found the part for cheaper, it's only 80 quid total, because I got instead of for 50, I got it for 40. Or like, it's like every other time I would go, he would do that. And then sometimes it would be how much he said it would be, but he would tell me, and I was like, you could have lied to me and took the extra, just took 100 quid. But because he didn't lie to me and he told me that, I kept going back to him. So I was like, I trust you in the long term that you're going to help me out if you can, because you've kind of shown that. So I guess that's what you're also saying about like a manager as well, or like these type of people. It's like they could fuck you over, or they could in the long term lose a little bit to get a long term
But
customer.
then with them, I feel like Route 59.
Yeah, by the way, for everyone at home, I'm not talking about Route 59. I'm talking about potentially Ibuki's manager. it seems like these guys are just being assholes from her account.
But we haven't heard their side.
We haven't heard their side.
Everybody's got a side.
Yeah, so it goes from Ibuki and her management.
Wait, you have to understand, and again, it's so hard for someone again to not have any experience with that side of things, and then to instantly be put on it, and they have. Well, I'm guessing they're probably going to go on tour 3 weeks after the show or a month after the show.
Probably shortly afterwards.
For them to learn about all of these things in that short space of time is heavy. To read the contracts, to understand contracts, to do all of that is a lot. And then also, it seems like they take advantage of that. Of people who don't have the experience. That's very easy to take advantage of it. And it doesn't matter because with your mechanic, yeah, he has a lot of people that will come to him. But then also, even if he doesn't, he still wants you to come back. He knows that you're going to come back.
Yeah.
So he's doing all that for you to come back for the rest of your life. Whereas
really
with them, they know that,
they've got the thing that if it's not you, it's going to be someone else.
Yeah, they've got the machine. They've already got the machine, and it's going to come. Then we'll get what we can from that person for the year or for the 2 years. But then when the next season comes on,
yeah, who cares about them, their financial, their mental health? Their
doesn't matter.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to kind of wrap up, I guess, this topic, they said that basically they released a public statement on the Ojo Gang's Instagram, which I didn't see, but they basically said they is it up, the Ojo Gang? They said they closed the official account because basically in her statement she says we had to close the official account because the statement that they released, now that it's become a legal issue, the statement that they released caused some like issues. It says with other companies, so I don't quite know what that means, but often when there's a open investigation or a legal case, you can't talk about it.
Right.
Anyway, yeah. Route 59, get your shit together. Ibuki, wish you the best of luck.
So just to summarize, just so
Yeah.
I've got it. So basically, as far as we know it, Ibuki has put out a statement against the company Route 59.
Didn't board the flight for the tour.
Didn't go on the tour, so they're just refusing. But they won
Because she went to a mental institution because it caused her so much stress that she actually had to go to
Wow, I wonder if they'll use that against her as well.
Mm.
Because we remember that
Or the flip side of that is, did she go just to get the paperwork to be like, yeah, you got checked in,
To the
and then
doctor's
to bring
note.
to bring that to
Doctor's
court
note.
and be like, look,
it's all tactical.
I mean,
you never know. You never
either
know.
way, the fact that she felt like she had to go to mental.
I mean, listen, if they're gonna play dirty, you gotta play dirty as well.
Or just look after yourself.
Yeah. Like, wish I did that.
Sorry, Egypt was your mental institution. So yeah, they basically Ojo Gang, I guess, didn't go on the tour. She definitely didn't. I don't know what's happening with the rest of the tour.
What about everyone else who signed the contract?
Yeah, imagine they just go without her.
Well, they signed a contract.
They did.
Can they refuse?
Maybe that's what the legal proceedings are about. If anyone knows, write in the comments and give us some. I mean, last time we got a lot of engaging comments about the street fight, so I know the audience are listening and willing. So please write in the comments and let us know what your takes are and if you have any information or rumors. We'll take rumors in the comments. Rumors in the comments. This should be our new thing. Throw some rumors in the comments, peeps. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm inclined to think that 95% of the time the artist is usually the one being taken advantage of. There's a few times when it's like the person's just being difficult and then they try and blame the organization, you know what I mean? But I don't necessarily, it doesn't sound like this is the case, but that does also happen. Especially when this is where it gets muddy, because when you're this big, if you put out a statement to 500,000 fans, you're going to put some pressure on them. So I've seen it, used before, but it's not to say that it's not true.
Bruv, but good. So just on that last thing, obviously that's the really famous example of Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
And then 10 years later, he puts pressure on, is it, what's the...
Netflix, no.
No, it's the American network platform, Comedy Central.
Here we go.
He put pressure on Comedy Central because they were playing a stuffed Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Without his agreement to it. This is after they already stiffed him out of another 200 million.
Oh.
And I believe, I don't know.
A lot.
Just
Dave Chappelle, if you're listening,
I'm just
write in the
repeating
comments.
stuff so I can't get sued.
Rumors in the comments. Just say allegedly.
Allegedly. There we go. Thank you. Journalist. So
We're free. We can say
and
anything.
then he basically did a performance and said, "I'm begging all of my fans, if you love me, don't watch my stuff."
Yeah.
And then they didn't. And then he was like, and then it came out like a month later. I was like, I got my money. Thanks.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I was like, cool. What I rate so much about that is that loads of people were gunning him, saying, yeah, he signed the contract, it's his fault, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, so they can be as sneaky and cunning as they like in the contracts. But the second an artist stands up for themselves and use their method, like their fan base,
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
You're being sneaky. It's like, well, fucking welcome
man,
to.
if the game's the game and it's just business, don't get upset. You lost.
Yeah.
So I like it, man. I like if you've got a fan base and your fan base is supportive of you, I think rock with them, man. Like you.
100%. Because then there's so many people that don't want to play the game. Sometimes it's just too much for people to play the game. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. You know what? It's fine.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this Waacking. I don't want to call it drama, but there was a bit of back and forth with Bruce and the Kitty Smile,
Kitty Smile.
who is a whacker.
Yeah.
So, Sophia, do you want to briefly break it down and then I'll kind of say my take? We won't spend too long on this one because it's kind of also it's worth saying they've taken down some of the posts, and so I don't want to stir up something that they're trying to put to bed. But yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Bruce put out a little classic Bruce video about a week ago.
About a week ago. Dum.
Sorry.
Yep, continue.
Okay. And
Sophia, you got to be up with the culture.
Yeah.
What?
And basically,
More than 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's how old she is. You don't even fucking know about those trends, let alone today.
Go ahead, Sophia.
Okay,
you tell us what happened.
Guys, you know, last time I would just
Luke,
quickly,
into the mic, please.
no, just quickly for the people at home. Last time while Jen was talking, I was looking up stuff. No, I was checking to see if the studio was like if we needed to get out, and I was doing stuff to do with the pod. And then someone commented because while Jen's talking to me and Sophia, I'm on my phone.
It does look mad rude to be fair.
Somebody commented a classic man listening. I was like, well, I was listening, but I also have to run a podcast. Continue.
Classic man listening is basically when they. I was gonna.
Nice. Meanwhile, interrupting the woman in the room. Go.
Sorry.
But we've not allowed on screen.
I'm glad. Go.
all right, I'm gonna start again.
Yeah,
because I
so
feel like
Bruce
I got-
made a video.
Yes, Bruce put out a video talking about the next Juste Debout and the new styles that will be coming.
Yeah.
Mentioned especially Crump, other styles, and Waacking.
Yeah.
Which created a lot of controversy because of one specific comment, actually.
Mm.
Someone put in the comment, oh, Crump is great, I'm excited, but I don't want to watch Waacking and I don't want to see man in heels with nipple covers dancing on stage. To which Bruce responded, don't worry, it will be regulated. And then the Waacking community,
Like there'll be a dress code, basically.
basically got a bit offended.
So if you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'll take over from there. So what this person, Kitty Smile, put out a video like kind of responding and kind of said like, look, if you're going to take these things and put them on like a mainstream stage or whatever, like you either take them as they are or don't take them.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, don't take it. And then, I guess in a way, like the perspective was like gentrify it in a way, like, oh, this won't be appropriate. Because I think from what Jen explained to me and from what you explained to me, Bruce was kind of saying like, because it's a kids event or like, you know, there's families in there, blah, 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 which actually I am with him on. Sure. Like there's certain things that regardless of culture, you don't want in front of kids. However, then just don't take the style. Like there's a good reason why, you know, these big events don't have the sex siren category from the ballroom scene because it's an 18 plus culture. It's an 18 plus category.
Yeah.
That's not something you try and throw on CBBC at 3 PM. Do you know what I mean? And like for good reason. And it's fine for both to be true, I think. It's like, it's fine to say that's not appropriate for kids. No one's arguing that point, but it's also fine to say, well, then leave it as it is. Because also, again, tell me if you have pushback on this, but like if you're taking it and putting it on a huge stage, it's like that's going to be a lot of people's first introduction to it. And it's almost like I'd rather, like, it's like if somebody hasn't met Lee and they're like, oh, like, you know, tell me about Lee. And I just say a bunch of stuff that's not true. It's like you'd rather they don't know anything about you than have this impression of you that's wrong, you know?
Exactly.
So, and I think, yeah, like I love Bruce actually, but I'm like, I'm not necessarily, I'm not really on his side on this one. But like, I mean, I think the way it ended was they said, okay, fine, we're not going to take Waacking.
Yeah, he just put out a video and he was like, okay, no Waacking, Juste Debout. It was literally like 30 seconds video.
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh.
Which is
kind of fair.
Which is the point you just made.
Yeah.
Which I actually want to add to this. I think I completely agree with everything you've said, and I think that problem is kind of what we see in different ways with hip hop culture, street culture, or anything like this. Kind of what we're talking about off pod, where I basically mentioned the idea of people taking what we have made in street dance and the things that come around it, and then diluting it to be able to sell it in their own arenas and own ways. And I think, to your point about either take it as it is or don't take it, I think there are lots of people that see street dance, that see hip hop culture, that see these different cultures like Waacking, Crump, whatever, and they like it, or they like what it can offer in terms of a creative, fun, new thing, but they don't like where it came from. And they try and remove where it came from, and you don't get one without the other. It's not fair, especially when there's a contradiction in the other things that are being displayed. And I'm actually going to talk a little bit just about a slightly controversial thing here, where I think there is a lot of prejudice and homophobia towards these types of things in the hip-hop dance scene from the same type of people that get furious about racism. I think if I'm honest, I think it's bullshit. I don't think you can stand there and say, I don't like when people don't like me because I'm black or my culture or whatever this, and then do the same thing to the people that are also in adjacent communities because they're expressing themselves sexually or gender in different ways. I think it's absolutely fucking bullshit, man. So the idea to be able to have people on stage that can dick grab, push each other, yell, say whatever they want, and then have that in one category and then say, I don't want to see nipple tassels and men in heels, it's like, then leave the room.
Oh, I was 100%. I was going to say that. Like, for
leave the room,
like,
bro.
Because I'll be honest, like, obviously people have different views on these kind of things, and if your view is detriment to that person, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you have a problem with something, it doesn't mean that you stop. Like, let people do whatever they want to do. Like, everyone's a grown adult. Do whatever you want. Look away. Look away. Leave the room. Go get a drink somewhere. Go outside.
Can I say something and you bleep it out?
Please.
We all leave the room.
No, but I think I very much agree, and I think there's ways to do it, because I think this is the thing as well. If, in my opinion, and the way I view a lot of these styles, there are certain things that you can't remove from the styles. Like, I think, there's a lot of things that have already been removed in order to make it what it is. Like, even we could take the example of like dancing on a huge stage. I think dancing on a huge stage changes the dance.
Absolutely.
And I think the type of music that we play changes the dance. So like where, in hip hop, if you see somewhere, especially in like France or Europe where there's like been heavy battle beats, and this is a whole other subject that I'm not going to get into because everyone makes fun of me that I keep talking about DJs and music. But like, like in the States, the way they play for hip hop, and in Europe, the way they play for hip hop, it changes the way we dance. Like in Europe, we dance faster, like, and we're not as good with like slow in the hip hop category.
Oh, okay.
We're not as good with slow tempos because we're not used to just a good old boom bap track anymore. We'll get onto it in the next pod. But I think it's like these things change the dance, right? So it's like if you play certain music, it changes the dance. If you put it in certain arenas or on certain stages, it changes the dance. If you make Waacking or ballroom culture all ages friendly, it changes the culture over time. And especially if you're influential like Juste Debout or any of these big events. If it was like, let's say there was all these events that were as big of Juste Debout doing Waacking, and then Juste Debout did their version of it, which is a family friendly. Like I'm not trying to say there's never been a family friendly Waacking show. Of course they've done, like that's happened. But when you're the biggest, arguably, event almost on the planet, maybe not on the planet, but in Europe, and this is that you're going to be a lot of people's first introduction to Waacking. So now it comes down to, do you feel like you have a responsibility, blah, blah, blah. I think you do have a responsibility to somewhat, if you're not going to represent the culture in the right way, at least signpost to the people who can represent the culture in the right way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, or just don't have it.
Yeah, which is what's happening, and I feel like that's the best.
That's fair.
That's perfect.
That's where it's like, and when we say like we're not on his side, and up until that point, yes, I can criticize. But when he says cool, then there's no whacking. I say, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's
I think that's the best.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
and also the whackers can't get mad that it's now not in Just Debout.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't. Like, if the whackers were like, no, but we want it, it's like, no. Like, you don't have it, or Bruce concedes and has it. I don't know, makes the whole of Just Debout 18 plus. That can't happen.
Yeah.
What could be a nice idea as a middle ground is it would be cool for Just Debout to have, like, on the Friday night or something, one of the nights, have a 18 plus side event where it's like if you want to include all the culture, this is what I would do, is have like
That'd be cool.
ballroom and whacking, have a night. Obviously, talk to people in the community, build it with them. It's not to say Bruce can't run a whacking or a ballroom. Sure, do it. But yeah, obviously, you need to consult and get it right. But do it as like a Friday night event, 18 plus, and then have your main stage thing there,
Do people like serve cocks in like battles
Yeah.
in like hip hop?
Less so now, but
Where's
yeah.
your line?
Yeah, where's the line of what's 18
Yeah.
plus and what isn't?
This is what I was saying earlier about like grabbing dicks, pushing each other, out, or for
'Cause-
example, songs that still say explicit words. When
Yeah.
family's playing. It's like
Even like this is the other thing. It's like even take out the swear words, songs that say the N word in like family friendly things. Like, you know what I mean? Or like in where kids are, because like it's like
we have it at UDO. We have to put strikes in the music if they have, but it's like people will say stuff like that. Like you got a lot of English families in it, or like foreign groups or whatever, like maybe Scandinavian or whatever, who don't understand what a pom pom is,
oh bro, yeah, I remember this from when I was doing UDO stuff.
right? Like if they're like,
There's like stuff that
and the kids are like, yeah, shake your pom pom, like
yeah.
it's like an under 8 category. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah. And they just think they're like, oh, this is a cute like Jamaican song. And it's like, no, like you have to understand what they're saying. I mean, this is the whole thing what you guys spoke about with Summer Dance, where how much do you remove the dances from the culture and the problems that causes. If the dance is just moves and no culture is embedded, you start to get the brother bin thing. You start to get,
oh yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like
Jamaican's
it's
a bit
like,
more of that, yeah.
oh yeah, what's the problem of doing this monkey sign against a black guy? Because it's just moves.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what's the problem of, doing, you know what I mean? It's like the more you remove the shit, the harder it is.
Sorry, I just had a flash of Brother Ben peeling a banana and then pointing at the guy.
We got to, if you haven't seen it, have you seen it? Oh, okay, yeah. Wild.
My God, sorry, yeah. So,
I want to,
I find it funny because he goes, "Oh, like I did it before, so it's not bad."
You know what we need for that one? You know how Stance does the audience reacts? They have a dance and then they zoom in, they have a dancer and then they zoom into all the crowd that are like reacting. We need a dancers react for Brothers Pins round. So all the people that clapped and cheered, like zoom in on them. It's just someone be like, yeah, that's a great move.
with like their names and
Yeah,
where they
yeah,
work
their
and where they live and
Exposed. All right, should we move on? Should we watch this popping battle?
yes.
All right, so we've got a popping battle with.
Jiggy Jai, yeah.
I don't actually know where Common Ground is. Do you know, Sophia?
I have no idea, but I can check.
Yeah, so Common Ground, there's a battle that happened, and the finals was Jiggy Jaya and this guy called GK.
GK.
That's a really cool name, Jiggy Jaya.
I know.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
sick.
nice.
Switzerland.
Oh, it's in Switzerland. We're in Switzerland. Is it in the good side or the bad side? Zurich is. No, I'm joking. Talking about the French side or the German side. I don't know.
Sorry.
Because I like French.
I knew
Swiss
because I
people.
know the company that.
You don't like-
Oh, actually.
We're having two
Who's the
conversations.
company?
Wait.
Company MEC.
Mech? Oh,
Yeah.
Company Mech.
Company Mech, like Company
Zurich.
Murph. Company Mech.
MEK.
Okay.
Sorry, there's an
Trying to
ad.
make a French joke.
We're not on Prime now.
Shut up, man.
No. There we go. We're here.
Okay, so let me just. All right. Well, we've started. Let's leave it on. Can you full screen it?
That's a nice backslide. Is the music out slightly?
Slightly.
Yeah, okay.
Is that?
That's Jiggy Jaya.
Jiggy Jaya,
He's from
okay.
Australia.
But he's nice, man. He's really nice.
Apparently, he's quite young.
Yeah.
Looks it.
Yeah, it's like mid-20s, doesn't he?
Okay.
I don't know about that.
This wasn't... Alright, fair.
That's the finals, yeah.
He's better.
Yeah,
He's better than this.
Okay.
I just didn't like the floor move.
Hush, bruvvies. still, isn't it?
GK's like
GK's mad.
taking over at the moment. He's won a lot of stuff recently.
Where's he from?
France.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know what's mad? It's like, you know, you can just tell like a French dancer. You can tell something.
Yeah.
Wow. He's clearly got like a little bit of Korean like movements or whatever.
It's the Hush Puppies, bro.
But even the way he snaps the legs or whatever. But it's the shape. But even like physiologically, he looks French.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he looks like that Frankie or
Yeah.
like
As soon as you wear Hush Puppies, you dance like that, in that way with the legs.
yeah.
That bottom half is like Japan, Korea, China. Top half is France.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it, actually. That's nice.
That's weird.
Ooh, come get me.
It's good trousers. Good popping trousers are Uniqlo.
Shout out Uniqlo.
They listen to the pod actually.
Is it?
No.
As I said, is it? I realised you were lying. I'm disappointed in myself. You know what I think about Jiggy Jaya? I feel like he's on the cusp of doing what Poppin' C did.
Go on.
You know where it's like, you can tell when like a mid-tier popper goes up to being like a high-level popper.
Yeah, he's on that precipice.
Exactly. I think the only thing that he's missing is that dynamic snap in his movements and his hit. I think as soon as he gets that, he's gonna. I think he'll be in that upper stratosphere of poppers. I think the same thing happened with what's his name, Poppin' C's partner, Ness.
Oh, yeah.
Ness. After he'd done his rounds with Green, he like got a little bit more like level changes, whatever. But it was that snap and energy, and I think like Jiggy Jaya still has that kind of slow pacing between movements. So everything is one dimensional, like in terms of when you go from one position to another.
Yeah, right.
Instead of like ga. It's like he doesn't have that yet, I don't think. But I think like GK's got a little bit more of that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
These little movements are like. See, it's like just the.
I feel like sometimes GK could slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
Even if it's not in his mood, it's more in his intention. Like I need those like chill, dancey. I don't know.
That composite, it's like I think that what you're hitting on is what like messes up a lot of dancers and a
Just
lot
slow
of
down
characters.
as I said that, but yeah.
But like the ability to kind of not understand composition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely about the slowing down.
But he is a good battle popper, I will say that.
Yeah,
PK. He's been winning a lot recently because of that.
But you see the difference between the two movements. Like even though he could afford to slow down, it's like he has that thing that Jiggy doesn't yet.
Ooh. Yeah. True.
I think he's 23, by the way.
Jiggy. That's so young, bro.
That is.
To be that good already.
Because even like when you're that young, you still don't have full control over your body. Like I can still tell that both of them still don't have 100% control of their body, and they still
like, as
don't
much
know
as they're
what
gonna get.
their shape, the good shape is for them.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And like it's still not there, but it's getting there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I can.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, who do we know who won?
It's got to be GK.
I think I would probably go for GK.
It'd be weird if
But
he didn't win.
yeah, I mean the second round wasn't as strong, but that song was a wild song to finish.
But I'll be completely honest. Both songs were terrible.
I think the first one had a bit more battle energy than the second one.
Yeah, electro, but like it's electro. It's not,
Yeah, but I think if you're
for a final.
if you're gonna do a chill song and then a hype song, like start with the chill song.
Yeah.
Start with the funk song to break it in, and then the second final song, like let them go for it.
I mean, I'm not a DJ, so I don't know, but like I think if it's a final, you blast hype songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Because
finals, isn't it?
and I've got a problem with funk songs anyway in the first place.
I love funk songs.
We'll talk about that another time. We'll talk about that in 1 week in October.
Wait, are we giving thoughts on the battle?
Yeah, what do you think? We'll give brief thoughts because we've got a couple of questions to answer.
Yeah, kind of. I think because of the thing that I said, I feel like it was GK was clearly in that round, just in the across the 2 rounds, just a better dancer. I don't think Jiggy was bad at all. I think, again, I'm a big fan of his.
He's great.
But I think, yeah, you're right. I think there was a slight drop off in GK's second round. However, I just think just the level was it was clearly, for me, better.
Yeah.
GK, yeah. I could go into why, but. Yeah.
But I think also, while I agree with you, I think I preferred Jiggy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Preference-wise.
Yeah, he's my preference.
Like, if I had to watch someone 10 times, or like if I had to watch someone on stage, I'd rather watch him.
If I was watching that battle back, I'd watch Jiggy's first round.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Even if you're like, well, you lost, but I still preferred your round.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop me from discerning when someone is better than the person that I like.
But when you're judging, you should go for who you prefer, right? Oh, he gets pressed. Oh, got him. Reel him in.
I honestly thought, no, I can't say that.
What?
That's a boring battle, man.
Fair.
Okay.
That's more of a criticism to me than them, but sure.
No, like no, but this is the thing. No,
Picked a battle I thought you'd enjoy. Oh, all right. Well,
no, I've seen like there's if I'm looking back from maybe like 7 years ago, 8 years ago,
when I was in Italy.
where don't do that. I'm self-conscious. Don't do that.
You're good.
Where you'd have like Nelson, Jidawi, Green Tech, Salah, so many other names in the finals of bells. I feel like Poppin as a quality has gone down because of those people aren't battling anymore. There's a lot of people who are still at a high level who still like I don't know why they're not battling anymore.
But I think it's just an age thing. I think there's always generations that are going to do that. It's just this is the first time that we're kind of really seeing it in a battle generation. But they're like, you get to an age where you're like, I've won all the... Like, if you're... Nelson still battles, but it's like, if you're Nelson, it's like, what else? What do you want else from me? I've beaten everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you want me to do it again? Like...
Yeah, please.
Yeah, for us.
Because it feels like the people that are winning now aren't as fully developed as the people that were winning maybe 10 years ago.
One other thing that I will, because I feel the same, and I feel like this even more strongly in the UK, but that's another one.
As opposed to maybe like 3 or 4 who are winning now, who are developed and who are amazing and all of that. But I feel like as a majority, as a whole, it's the quality has gone down.
But there's also to bear in mind, there's a perspective shift in the sense that when we were 18 and we saw Jidawi and Salah, we were like, that's magic.
Nah, bro.
And that's how people feel about... Like people like
Omni, like people feel like that, but Omni and people, they have that like that.
Like if you're 18 now, you're looking at like Soyuz or Christo or these like kind of younger people and being like, or like even people like that. Let's say like Alex the Cage. There's like for sure a generation of hip hop dancers that are like, what the fuck? And it's like I think he's incredible, but I'm older than him. So it's like there was not a thing. I never looked up to Alex the Cage. I just came up being like, you're fucking incredible, but you're younger than me. Whereas when it was like Jidawi's, I was like, at this point that I'm seeing you, I don't even know how to do that, let alone what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean?
I'd like if I was to watch a battle, like if you get one round of like Jidawi or Nelson or Green Tech, like, and get another round from that. Which one would you prefer?
Sorry, I would say on that, like, what's really weird is that we can't look at it the same way we did when we saw it, right? So, like, when you say, like, not as refined or developed in that way, I don't know if you remember, I think it was like 2006 maybe, Salah and Mike versus Pepito and Jidawi. They were really rough around the edges. They were exciting, but they weren't on the level that they were, like, 5 years after that.
I mean, you take GK back to 2006, he's smoking everyone.
I think
you put him in a time machine and take him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like I'm on the same wave as you, but I think it is a perspective thing. I think rather than what we expected was all these dancers to do this, and then we come out of the scene and the scene just does this, and when we come back into it, we're like, wow, everyone's amazing now. But I think what actually happens is there are waves of generations. They kind of come off and then they do this, and we go off with this wave of generation, and then this one comes through, and I think. The idea of instead of like there being a linear progression like this, I think what actually happens is it kind of does this, and each wave goes off slightly higher than the last. But you do have that drop off, and then this restarting
of I think this is also like, let's say if you use the UK as an example, I think like with Brooke and Marvel and Breaks and all those guys, like they were so dominant for so long. like there was a lot of people that like didn't get up like to the finals or even semis for a while, and I think now that they've kind of phased a little bit out of battling, you're seeing the like void that they left, and you have a few like Omni, Silk, people like that who are like really getting to the top.
Yeah.
But then it's like I think for then it to flourish and build, it's going to take a few more years to get another group that are like across the board as strong as them.
Yeah, and then
I
there's
hope
also I hope so too. And then there's also the dynamic of the fact that there are multiple battles every week. So it's like the scene is so saturated. So you're seeing the same faces so much more regularly than when we saw them. Like, remember when B-Boy Champs was like the epitome of a dance event?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you'd go and see that and you'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to get to go and see these dancers who I've seen like on YouTube maybe 3 times this year.
Yeah.
But like it gets to March and I've already seen them win 5 competitions.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you.
Like, ugh, like,
Yeah, it's hard to like still. I think what for me anyway, I don't know if this is exactly what the point you're hitting on, but for me, it's like we're looking for the magic in dance that we found when we were 18 by watching these things, but it's because we were 18 watching these things. You know what I mean? It's hard to be an adult looking at stuff, trying to look for that magic that, you know what I mean?
So it's
I
all
think-
gone forever.
No, I think you have moments of it. It's just in different places.
yeah, I think you have to kind of like this. It's like Mechanical said it to me years ago. I remember, like, I think it was one I was kind of hyped about, Jadawi and them. Like, I was like, oh, like, what do you think of him? And he goes, yeah, they're a bit younger than me. He goes, I don't really get excited about guys that are younger than me. And I was like, oh man, you just don't like popping or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was watching football like a couple of years ago, and it made me think about it. And I was like, oh yeah, these are all kids.
Yeah.
Like these are literally 17, 18-year-old, 19, 21-year-old kids playing football. And I was like, it'd be weird to get excited about meeting a 21-year-old boy. You know, it'd be weird. But I'm like, but I'll still watch it and enjoy football. But it doesn't hold the same space that Perez, Ljungberg, Henri, all these people that are 5-10 years older than me still hold now. When they can't do anything, they can't do half the things these kids are doing now. Like we have our
Yeah, but you still like. I don't stop saying kids because I was going to say still get you excited. So no, they still get you
17
like
as a
they
kid.
still like if you're watching like they still no, but it's still they're still good. They still like you still get excited watching them.
Yeah, but I get excited watching them, but I don't have that adulation that I had for Henri. Like Henri was he's like, you're not like a bloody like hero or a father figure or something like this, but it's like you're like, oh, there's this grown up
Like
man.
an idol. Yeah.
Idol, yes, thank you. It's
Yeah,
like,
but
I can't idolize a kid
Can I
that's
say
half
one
my
thing?
age.
I think what we're kind of questioning about what you said is we're saying that like we think it's more of a perspective than an objective, like the level is lower. Like we're saying we don't think objectively the level's lower. We just think perspective wise we're not as entranced by the magic of the scene as we used to, and that's what we're thinking is objective, but it isn't.
Yes, sorry.
You know what I mean?
That's a better word, yeah. Because I would say objectively, how old's Omni? How's Matthew?
He's like can't be more than mid-20s.
Like, I think him now, in like at his age, would be better than Pepito at his age.
Yeah. Like, no, but even when they were winning, like if you go and watch
By
back,
quite a margin.
you know what this is? This is the Jordan, Kobe, LeBron
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's like, would LeBron beat Jordan? Like, you have to do it relative to their time, because if you go now, if you take Jordan back to the NBA in the 90s, like in my opinion, it's like he's bigger, stronger. Like people are just bigger and stronger. Like they know more about the game. There's more research. There's more professional. Like I don't even think it's a real conversation. Would a boxer from now beat someone from the 60s who was dominant then? It's like probably knock him the fuck out, because it's like people know more about it. And I think, like in our head, we idolize these things. But if you actually go watch back, like Juste Debout 2006, yes, they're great, but like the popping is nowhere near the level.
No, it's
like,
really not.
I think in like a UK semi-finals, you have stronger than Juste Debout finals 2006 now.
I think so.
But it's because it's like 10 years later, 20 years later. Like, of course, the level's going to go up. We learn from the people in the past. So it has to be relative to the time.
But then there is an argument to say from the perspective now, relatively, do these dancers impact us the same way that the dancers back when we were watching them did to us?
That's and because there's more this is where I think there's a point, is like there's more events, you're seeing them. Are there as many idols and like celebrity or inspiring dancers as there used to be, or are there more battle winners that just show up, get the job done and leave? Like, I think also it's hard for us to say, because like we're not, like Lee was saying, like we're not entranced by these people. We're just, like I said, like it's like
No, but I am though. But again, not all of not the majority. I'm just saying that
Right.
there was more back then
Oh, okay.
than there is now.
oh, Or do we know more dance
Okay,
now because of YouTube and stuff?
So yeah, this point I think is really interesting. I would actually agree. I think that, and I don't know whether this is like a creative thing that happens, but I think there were more individuals back when we were younger.
Agreed.
100%.
Agreed.
Yeah, then like, because if you look at like, especially, I mean, the real good example of that was that IBE mishmash of like,
Salah and Friends and
yeah, exactly.
MGF.
Yeah.
Machine Gun
Machine
Punk.
Gun Punk.
Yeah, that's something like that group. I think was a really good example
Yeah.
of the different, and that didn't have everyone in it. You know, you had like your peripheral ones like K Moon or whoever else like this. Like there were so many different types of individuals that even when they were in a genre of dance, so you had your Frenchies, you had your Americans, you had your
Like Kite.
you had your Japanese, your Koreans, whatever like this. It's like even then they still really stood out. Whereas like when I look at someone, let's say like in the battle of GK and Jiggy, right? The reason Jiggy's so preferable to me is because he's really pulled away from looking like Green Tech, I think, and he really has just created this whole aesthetic that is just him. I think MT is the same. I think, right? It's that they just have an aesthetic, but then like we were spoiled with it. Like Pepito and Jadawi were pairs, and they look, even though they did the same thing, they look completely different.
Yeah.
I think Bad Dogs, Lemzo and I think the exact same. I think you get that in over here as well. I think like Brooke and Dixon look completely different.
Sure.
Nick
Silk Omni.
Marvel Breaks.
Yeah.
All these they all train this together, and they all look completely different.
Yeah.
They're all doing the exact same stuff, but completely differently. Even when they're doing it in routines, it looks different. But
Yeah.
now
And
I would say now there are so many dancers that it's like when I see, they're older, but even if I see people like Frankie and Nelson, I'm still like they don't look completely different, you know? And it's like, or like there was a lot of people that still now look like Pete or whoever else.
I think now, I agree with what you're saying, because it's like I think now there's a lot more people that train to win battles as opposed to train to be individual dancers.
Oh, I don't know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, because there's so many more battles, there's so much more there's just people that are like, what's the best way to do popping to win? As opposed to like, I don't care about winning, like I want to be individual. And that used to be the thing when there wasn't such a high stakes in battles, I guess, or less battles, less prize money, less high, like you couldn't, you know, like
probably back then you'd win a t-shirt.
do you know what I mean? Or like even if you won prize money, it's like once a year. Like you're not making a living going around just ticking boxes and winning, which I think there's a bit more of now.
True, and I guess that there's actually a reason to do that now, which is not just the individual events, but there's being sponsored.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many things. You win enough things, and anyway, I still stand behind though that being individual gets you more success than winning loads of battles. And I think people just don't like. They think MT wins all the battles and is like the most famous popper on the planet because he's good at popping. It's like, no, it's because he looks different than everyone.
Yes,
he's also good at popping, but it's because he looks different. Because you can't replace MT with someone else. It's like, so you have to pay him what he deserves. You have to sponsor him. If you was like, oh, you know, some of these poppers, it's like, well, there's 100 of you. Why do I need you? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, or these dancers, not even. There's a couple of questions that we'll try and bang through before we finish. On that, people that wrote in from the Consult the Capsule.
Ooh.
That would like our help. So we'll try and keep these answers brief. Sophia, do you want to read out the first one?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm in school. Hey, I'm a dancer from Canada and I've been enjoying your podcast lately. Thank you. I started dancing a little later in life and have seen growth. I really love dancing and I see it as lens through which I experience life, but I am also a competitive person.
Same.
With the internet and being around strong dancers in my scene, I have been spoiled with a taste for dance. That is way beyond my current level. I sometimes cannot shake the feeling of dread that comes when I think I will never reach that level. As seasoned dancer, have you dealt with this feeling? How do you keep going? How do you keep doing what you love without worrying about reaching a particular level? Should I finish?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there are many fulfilling ways to participate in the scene and the culture at any level without necessarily getting battle wins, front, right, left, and center.
Yeah, I mean, to answer the question, yes. Imagine we just said that. Yes. All right, next question.
Yes, next.
Have you dealt with this feeling? Yes, definitely. How do you keep doing what you love without worrying about reaching a particular level? Are you calling me shit? No, it's like, Luke, you've clearly dealt with not reaching a particular level. Give me some advice. No, I think for my answer, I would say, I mean, you can take it as like a motivation thing. It's like it's possible to reach that level. You just got to work hard. Like I've seen people within a year go from like starting a dance to being like at least like one of the best in their country or you know whatever. So I think it's like how much you decide, like it's in your control to become really good if you want to be. But if you're talking about like how to deal with like, you know, never reaching the level of like flipping Majid or MT Pop or whoever it might be, I think it's like, you have to focus on what is your why in a way. Like, why are you doing this? Like, if it's to win all the battles, then cool. Like, you have to understand that, like, even if you do become MT or Majid or whatever, like, that's only going to be for a certain, like, I always say this on the pod, but like, I feel like Majid's like the best hip hop dancer in the world at the moment. But that's at the moment. He wasn't for a long period, and he won't be soon. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, your time will come and go. And it's like, even if you win a battle the next day, like Majid has, as much as I think he's the best, it doesn't mean he's unbeaten, and it doesn't mean he can't be beaten. Like, he's lost battles, and he will continue to lose battles.
Right.
And it's like, so it depends what your why is. Like, if his why is only to win battles, you know, a lot of times he's going to be upset, and then he's going to spend the whole second half of his life upset because he gets old and doesn't battle anymore. But it's like, most people, this thing of like being a particular level, like you're looking at it from the outside in. So you're seeing these top level dancers be like, wow, I want to be one of them. But even they're like, oh, I wish I was that guy. I wish I was that guy. You know, it's like, everybody wishes there was someone else when they're not that person, you know, and that person also wishes they were you know what I mean? And it's like, what's your why? Is it to make money? Because you can do that without being the best in the world. Is it to be competitive? In which case, you have to understand that competition means that you're not always going to win. Like, you're doing it for the love of competition. You're doing it there to go and make people sweat, give them a hard time, stress them out. And that's the competition thing. And you win or you lose, you're there to compete, not to win. And it's the preparation, it's the, you know, whatever it is. And then if it's like you do it for the art, you know, then it's like, all right, it doesn't matter what. For me, I'm competitive in a way, but I'm more concerned with getting through or getting to the finals because it's more chance to dance. Like, instead of just a prelim, I want to have 7 rounds by getting to. I don't care if I win or lose, but I just want to dance 7 times. That's my main thing. Is I want more chance to express or to do my shit. So just like figure out what your why is. Like I said, if I get to a finals, even if I lose, I'm happy because my point was more I'm there to dance and to get more rounds out and have a chance to really get in my flow. I feel like I never get in my flow just doing a prelim, you know. By the time I get to semis, I'm like, all right, even if I lose here, I've warmed up, I've got off what I need to get off. So yeah, I think that's my answer. Just stick with your why. It's like that will hopefully make you not feel stressed because you're like, oh yeah, this person's here to win all the battles, I'm here to do this other person's here to do this, and we all coexist peacefully.
Strong advice.
I don't think I can add anything extra to that apart from maybe like being competitive and wanting to win is like, it's very easy to know what you need to do to, I guess, win, or you just need to train more, know what you're training at. Okay, so see how a judge would see it, because each competition, like you're kind of catering towards, if there's 3 judges, you're catering towards 3 judges, understanding those judges, what they're looking for, and just kind of more or less adapting to what they like and what they do so that you can win.
If that's the game you want to play, play it.
And actually play it, and actually put in the work, actually train in the right things. Don't just like play some music and just dance. Like, actually train, know your weaknesses, know your strengths. And doing all of that, it can happen. But again, it will determine once you find out the why. Yeah. Once you do that, everything just becomes so much easier.
Because there's people that will be like, in a battle or on a battle day, they'll be like, yeah, I'm competitive, I want to win. It's like, bro, you've been on your sofa for the last 3 weeks. You knew this battle was coming up. You're not that competitive, are you? Otherwise, you'd be training. You know what I mean? It's like, you just don't like losing. That's different from being competitive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Yeah, I think... for me, it's kind of to kind of marry the two. I would say what I always advise people to do if you're starting something new, like you said, you kind of like started it later in life, is when you figured out your why and you understand how the game works. I think the best thing to do is to figure out if you're gonna waste your time or not. That would be me, because and as much as I would love to say it's all down to you and how much work you put in, and you're gonna get out of it however much you put in. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes we just don't have the capabilities to do the things that we really care about doing and that we want to do. There are lots of things that
For example, I used to play basketball.
Hey man.
And here I am in the dance scene.
But would you? But this is the thing. Like,
And
would
for
you
example,
stop playing basketball? Like, if you knew that before, would you have stopped?
No,
Would you have carried on?
not at all.
Yeah, but in terms of trying to pursue your dreams to get to the NBA, for example, if that was like, I want to play it at the highest level, it's like, but I still play five-a-side football with vets like, once a week, but I'm not trying to, there are no point in my 20s that I try and make it to the Premier League.
So more like be realistic.
Yeah, find out your why and be realistic about it.
Yeah, and just and know if you're going to waste your time trying to get there, right? So like there was like, I picked up painting a few years back because I already did art for a while, but I was like, all right, cool, let me see, I want to do painting and kind of take my art to the next kind of stage. So I was like, all right, cool, let me just for 1 year, I'm just going to enter art competitions, enter open calls, just put my work out into exhibitions, just see what's happening. I just want to see if I'm wasting my time. Got to like 9 months in, I was like, no, you know what? Like, I know what, I can do this, it's fine, so cool. But there are so many things that I'm like, I'm interested in learning different sciences, for example. Like, I love evolutionary biology, but I don't have the chops to learn the maths behind it, or physics or anything. I'm just not. And I'm not. That's not to say that it's not a learnable skill like dance is, and you can learn. But it's like in a more tangible way. It's like there was. I think it was Joe Budden's thing. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it's a different one. But they said like, oh no, it's a different podcast. But they were talking about like people who want to be in the NBA. And it's like, and then one guy was like, yo, you can do it. It's like it's all up to you. And it's like, no, sometimes you're not 6'7" and LeBron.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like sometimes you're just not fit. And like Michael Jordan said about his brother, he goes like, my brother was 6'6", you'd all be screwed.
But I think this is one thing I was actually going to say, and this leads me into it perfectly, is like, I think you're, in a way, there's a bit more hope because I think, there's a bit more hope in dance because I think in a lot of sports, there is a thing of like, like you said, I could try as hard as I want, but if I'm not genetically strong, if I'm not tall, if I'm not fast, it's like objectively I can't be good.
It's not as cutthroat. Like it's
dance. There's a guy that was in BC1 with one leg.
Yeah.
So it's like you can. I think the only saving grace and the only hope in dance is like you can circumnavigate physical attributes with creativity.
But he was able to do some of the stuff that he was doing because he had one leg.
But also,
because he's creative.
But he's not going to start doing that at 45. Breaking is incredible.
But breaking is like.
But just because you used the BC1 example, I think like there are, but I think that applies to most stand-up styles, right? And but because I think most stand-up styles, the aging out process is way later than most of our physical activities, right? Because like,
it also depends. They said later in life is like they could be saying 27. Yeah, if they're 27.
But even like,
go for it.
Let's say like if you were doing hip hop or pop in or lock and everything like this at 27 or 57, I still think you'd actually have a good chance of performing. Like I think like the stand-up styles I think are really good for that in terms of like completely removing those physical differences. Like for example, in a lot of sports we separate men and women, for example. But in like that, a big reason why I fucking love why I love like stand-up styles. And I misran.
You just apologize now?
I know, it's a reaction. I said something that was bullshit. I know. But like a big reason why I love that is that like those things of like disability, of like any other like physical differences, whatever, like age or whatever like this, all these things can be kind of like merged or blend, overcome. And I think in the street. So I think there is. I just think like, but the only point I will make is that I've seen dancers train for 15 years and not get any better.
Agreed. Yeah. I think it
doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
But it can happen.
Yeah.
So, and not to be discouraging, just to be realistic, I think find out your why. And then, so if you can find out, for example, like competitively, like let's say you do all this, you compete for a year and you go, you know what, man, like it worked, like I'm better.
There's progression.
Then go for it. But if you go, you know what, man, I might be better, but it might be that my anxiety has gone through the roof, for example, and I feel really stressed or whatever, and then it's like, okay, then maybe that's not for you. But there are at least half a dozen other avenues for you where you can still enjoy that dance in different contexts and still be a part of the community in different ways.
Yeah. So it's not only about battles. That's like, make some videos and shit. Do some choreo, do some performances.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah.
Do the last one?
What?
Do we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
We gotta keep this one brief.
Hey, do you have any do's and don'ts when it comes to battling that you are willing to share?
I'm always willing to.
Yeah.
Don't touch anyone, tight eyes. Anything else?
Yeah. I got a really simple one is don't wait to go first.
Ooh.
Yeah. Always.
Don't wait to go second, you mean?
Don't wait to go...
I was going to say that.
Don't wait to go... Yeah, apologies. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. Don't wait to go second in a battle. The reason that we did that is because we never had any kind of formal judging, formalized judging in battles, so that a recency bias would come into play massively. So recency
I have
bias.
a pushback against this, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah, cool. A recency bias is that you remember more of the thing you saw most recently. So going second in a battle would be able to prioritize you in the judge's mind. That would increase your likelihood of voting. It also, there is a tactical advantage of knowing what the person does to be able to respond. However, my pushback on that is that now we have hopefully better trained judges and kind of a more thorough understanding of why people are making decisions. But also there is a massive tactical advantage of going first. If your judges know what they're looking at when it comes to a battle, you're looking at a dialogue between the two. I would always describe it like a debate. So the idea is that you call a subject and then the other person responds. I think if you go first in a battle, your advantage is that you get to dictate what you're talking about in the battle.
Right. So this was going to be my pushback, as in like the fact that it's like, okay, the judging when it's done properly shouldn't give you an advantage, or it shouldn't, whatever. It shouldn't matter whether you go first or second, kind of thing. It's like, that's what I disagree with, because it's like, well, if the judging, you told me this, that the judging model is comparative. You're not looking for anything.
You're looking at.
Yes. And it's like, but then at the same time, the way the judging system is like I go, and then from then on, we're comparing your round to my round.
Exactly.
So there is an advantage in going first, in a way. Or there is an advantage in going second, depending on how you look at it. Because it's like you said, it depends what you want to do. Like, I'm setting what we're talking about, so I have more power in that way.
But then all I need to do is just be better than your round.
Yeah,
it's second. You mean?
If I go second?
Yeah, and it's like, the thing is, I think it's like spinning the wheel, because it's like, let's say it's like spinning the wheel of fortune in a way. Like, if you go first, you're in control. And you can decide what the conversation is about, knowing your opponent, blah, blah, blah. But what you're doing, if you're trying to go second, is you're saying, I'd rather spin and hopefully let you choose, and hopefully you're going to choose something that I can smoke you at. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I choose to go second and you go, yeah, I can go first. And then you go, I'm going to do a floor work round because I'm strong. I'm like, oh, you don't know me. I'm way better than you at floor work.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that like cha-ching, it landed on the right thing.
So then, like in isolation on paper, I think like that you could marry the two up and then argue why which one is more advantageous to a person. But in practical terms, when you get through prelims and you go to a top 16, a top 32, a top 8 or whatever, by that point, you're usually, in terms of most battles that happen around the world, they're national or regional, right? They're rather than international, right? So those are the ones we see online a lot. But there are a lot of battles that happen within a community in a specific place. So you're pretty much familiar with most of the people there, right? So by the time practically you get to a top 8 or a top 16 of the battles, or let's say even you go past the first or second round, you've had the opportunity to see what a person is like and see what they're good at and see what ways they move. So what I would do personally as a battler or a debater with movement, I would watch you and I would say, cool, what does that person do? What are their habits? What are their subject matters? What are they strong at? So if I'm in a battle and I see someone like Marvel, for example, I'm not doing robot against him. It's mental. Like of course not. Like I might throw in some animation or whatever to dictate the battle, but obviously I'm going to go with a more dancey element of the battle and show how I can do different types of movements or whatever. Like obviously I'm going to go that way. If I see someone like Nelson, obviously I'm going to put animation in there.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it makes most sense.
Yeah, so I think it's like, it's not to say that going second doesn't have any advantage, but it's saying going first also could have huge advantages depending on how you play the game.
Yeah. It's literally just you're right. Sorry. Yeah. It's not that don't ever wait to go second. It's just know exactly why and have it as part of your strategy. Because if it's just a very common thing for people to just mill around and piss around and waste,
because they've seen it on
music.
YouTube.
Because they've seen it on YouTube and because they think that there is an advantage. But if you were to press any of them, which I do sometimes at events, on why they're going second, their only thing is, I feel like I'm going to get an advantage by going second because the judges will remember me. Like intuitively, they understand the recency bias, but they don't actually know why it's an advantage. But I was teaching a workshop up in Blackpool, whatever, recently, and I was just teaching them the idea about movements or whatever, and then I was talking to them about this concept in battles. And they'd never heard the idea of a battle being a conversation before, or like a debate or anything like this. And I was like, and I just said, like, what do you think it was?
Yeah.
You know, like there's no there's
again
no
removing the thing from the culture.
Yeah, but that would be mine.
Mine is a good do is try and prepare, not necessarily the movements, but like obviously if you get through pre-selection, that's one round, and then if you do like top 16 or top 8, that's 2 rounds for each battle. So how, like, kind of work out if it's a top 16, understand how many rounds you're going to do and be able to, I guess, kind of have a structure of the movement. And then even with that, it also helps you to train for it. Like, you kind of know what you're aiming for.
That is a good do.
I would say, like, if I'm helping people or like coaching or teaching them, I think, like, as a battler, if you don't have like a minimum of 8 to 10 rounds without repeating, like, you're not
good.
ready. Like, like, you can still enter battles and stuff, but you're not ready to be like a winner.
Yeah.
Even, like, if you're like a mid-level trying to go top level, it's like 8 to 10 rounds minimum without repeating.
That's what you need to aim for.
Yeah, and I think, like, on that, like, if you have less than that, I think what's really good is you use those in the early rounds and then basically pressure test yourself to see what you can do.
Yeah.
I think
like make something up in the moment or whatever.
Yeah, man. Good do's.
Yeah, I think, oh God, do's or don'ts. I would say, I mean, don't learn to dance just by only like watching people on YouTube, like, and like taking their styles because that you think that's going to be what makes you win. It's like the reason those people are as good as they are is because they looked different to everyone else that was coming up at the same time as them, not because of the specific style. Like, Boo Boo wasn't good at hip hop because he looked like Boo Boo. He was good at hip hop because he was different to everyone else. So it's like copying Boo Boo won't also make you good at hip hop because now you look like everyone else. So I think it's like this thing of like, don't be a fucking clone, basically. You can argue whether or not people need to go through that stage in their learning, but I'm like, you got to try and bring something to the table, like, if you're going to do well.
Fair. So yeah, I guess it's like there's that book, isn't it? Still Like an Artist. Is like like the idea would be to do that stuff in practice, but make sure that you're using it towards your own approach, which is like a whole big conversation about style. But yeah, it's
but like be inspired for sure. But one person put it like this, which I thought was really good. If you copy from one person, you're biting or stealing. If you copy from 12 people, you're just inspired. Like, just copy from more people.
Yeah, that's really good.
Like, it's impossible to look like one person if they're stealing from all 12 of them equally. So,
I mean, you could tell.
Can you though?
Yeah, man.
No, you're right. If it's more people, but then I feel like that's just what AI does.
All right. Well, let's end the pod. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. Write in the comments if you have some thoughts, feelings, opinions. Also, there's a link in our Instagram bio for the Consult the Capsule. Please submit your dilemmas, your questions. It can be silly, it can be fun, it can be serious, it can be about your personal life, it can be about your dance life, and we will debate them here on the episode. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you for Sophia for controlling the whole pod.
You're the best.
Thank you to Lee and Mus for being here. And thank you to me for being goddamn gorgeous.
They've got to subscribe and like.
Like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. If you watch a pod every week, now and then leave us a comment. Just say something nice. Give us a thought. And also tell a friend about it. And play it out loud on the bus. Connect your Bluetooth speaker and just play this out loud. Everyone follow the capsule!
Jesus.
All right, peace, guys.
Nice.